This is the final episode of season 1. Wow, what a journey. As I sat in reflection and asked myself the question, what is the bravest act I have learned from this season? It comes down to a technique I practice to expand my capacity as a leader in holding space. We'll dive into how this one technique is the medicine the world needs right now. This is episode 30. Welcome to the Brave Woman Podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Lynn, founder of Sistership Circle and author of Open Your Heart and The Art of Leading Circle. I'm the mother of 2 girls, an 8 on the Enneagram, aka the Challenger, happily married to my business partner, Brent, love connecting with nature, and have put in well over 10,000 hours circling with other women. On this podcast, we will explore how to embody the brave woman so that you can take action on your dreams and desires, unapologetically speak your truth, and live life on your own terms. Grab a seat and a cup of tea, and let's get started. We have made it to the season finale of the Brave Woman podcast. Wow. 30 episodes. I'm taking some time to reflect on this journey for 6 months. I was sharing with my husband that I completed season 1 or that I was doing this recording for the ending of season 1. And he was like, wow, congratulations. So I just first want to celebrate the commitment. I want to celebrate the team that's helped put this on. And I want to celebrate you, the listeners who have been tuning in and leaving reviews. Thank you. And sharing this and giving me your feedback. And yeah, that's what is going to have me keep going, honestly, is your reviews, your shares, you as the women who believe in what we're doing at Sistership and who are inspired by this concept of the brave woman and really want to walk that path that you engage. That's what's going to keep this going. So in reflection for this season, I looked at the statistics of how many views or listens, whatever you would want to call it, and what was the most popular. And really what's going on in the world today. What's the lesson that we can really take from the last 6 months? Like what feels like the most potent lesson that we can take? And how do we turn that into a teaching for our leadership, for our life? And so no surprise, our most popular episode was with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. And this was the one about vaccines, and that was very polarizing. I started it with, this is super controversial to have you on. And I remember when I actually approached her and I said to her team, I really want to keep this neutral. And at the end of the interview, I burst into tears because of some of the things that she was sharing. And she said, that wasn't really what you were expecting, was it? And I said, it kind of was. And what I mean by that is to be a brave woman means to be passionate about what you believe in and that you really are fully self-expressed with your voice. And we've had some incredible women come on and exemplify that, but Dr. Sherry Tenpenny just let it rip and didn't hold back. And so I was like, thank God. What am I talking about? Neutral. But one of the things, I had a lot of women email me just saying, bravo, thank you, just really celebrating this episode. And one comment really landed deeply with me. And I think this is what this episode is all about. And we're going to go deeper into the teaching of this and the application of this. But she said to me, I don't know if it's right for you as the organization leader to really voice your opinion, especially when you have facilitators, you have a lot of leaders who are in both camps and who believe both things. And so for you to take a side, she's like, I don't know if I believe that is the right thing to do. And I said, where I'm coming from is in me taking a stand and voicing my belief. I'm giving everyone permission to do the same. And it's not about, she's then you're making people wrong if they don't have your opinion. And I said, no, actually, that's not true. By me having an opinion and being very self-expressed about it and being very passionate about it doesn't mean that I'm making anyone else wrong. And I think this is the thing that we as leaders need to learn how to do is in our stand that we still remain open to the opposite, that we remain open to the opposition for dialogue, and that we actually create the space for all voices to be heard, and that we actually don't get caught in the need to censor or the need to shut others down because they don't agree with us. And so she said something really cool in response, and that was, okay, what I think would be really powerful is what if you actually hosted both sides? What if you actually hosted the debate? And I was like, oh, wow, that feels edgy, but that feels good. That could be really cool. What if we had Dr. Sherry Tenpenny back for season 2, but with someone who has an opposite opinion? And that was one of the things she said is bring it. Like, I'm ready. I'm game. Like, you want to go head to head? You want to have a debate? And what happened? What happened in our society that we don't really honor the debate so much? And we get triggered if we find ourselves in a debate and then we either leave or we feel like we have to make the other person wrong. How is that going to serve us? It's not. So that will be something that I will present to Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I think it would be really wonderful. And for me, that's a way that I get to walk my walk in saying that all voices matter and giving all the opinions so that people can make an educated choice for themselves. Because that's what this comes down to, is that we are all sovereign beings and we all need to make the decision that's in our highest good, and that no decision is a wrong decision. It's just a decision that you've had to make. Dave Osprey, if you've heard of him with the coffee bullet, I'm totally blanking on the name. I'll put a link in the show notes to the post where he talked about being vicarious. And so he's actually in the exploration of both sides. And I think that this is a great way to go about life, especially as a leader. Because when we are in servant leadership, when we are in heart-centered leadership, we want to create that space. And this is what I was talking about with the neutral. It's like the nuance of what is neutral. And the neutral in being equanimity, where I'm not attached to the pleasure and I'm also not pushing away the pain. This is a teaching from Vipassana. I'm just sitting here and I'm allowing all the feelings to arise and fall, and I'm just a witness. So there's a neutrality in that. And then the other piece of the neutrality is being able to have someone as fully self-expressed as Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and then someone who's equally self-expressed on the other side, sharing. And so can we actually put all the education on the table and allow someone to then choose, powerfully choose, knowing that they have all the information? And I think that was part of my intent with that show, was that so much is being censored, including my own video. They immediately took it off of YouTube and said, sorry, this violates our community guidelines. And I was like, what? Doing this for your own good. I was like, okay, I'll just move this over to another platform. That's fine. Doesn't need to be on YouTube. But that was why I wanted to give that voice. Yes, I can actually hold the space. And so that's the neutrality as a facilitator in the middle of conflict. Can I be Switzerland? So can I have two conflicting viewpoints, two very passionate, self-expressed people? And can I hold the space? That's leadership. That's being of service, right? And can I not be triggered? I can have feelings, and I might have a lot of them come up, but can I just hold my center? Can I hold that neutrality and allow both of the sides to be fully heard? So one of the things that I think is really important about Circle and why it's so important is that Circle is, to me, all about honoring diversity. And what would it be like if every single person in this world looked the same, dressed the same, acted the same? That would be a really boring world. I'm not interested in that. I love, and I used to travel, I've traveled to, I don't know, maybe 30 countries, living in a foreign country right now. I love being around different cultures. I remember living in China and went to this, it's actually blanking on the name of it, but it was a World Heritage Site and it was old China and it was so powerful to go there. And I think we were there for about a week, girlfriend, and I actually spilled hot boiling water on my foot. And I had to have these guys carry me in like a little cart to wherever I was staying. But there was this one shop that I found, and it was a tourist shop, and but what she had were all these old relics. And she had these old posters of Chinese actresses, and I bought a few. And I ended up going there every single day to practice my Chinese. This might be something that you don't know about me, but I studied 2 years of Chinese in college. And then I spent a semester in China in full immersion in Nanjing. And I was able to travel. I had a lot of travel time during that program and went all over the country. But I loved going to this woman's shop. And I would just sit there and we would have tea and I would practice my Chinese and I would ask her about her family and her way of living and just really trying to get into the world of this woman who lived on the other side of the planet in this totally different culture, speaking this different language. And I think that's a part of my stand for Circle and stand for diversity. I lived a year in Japan where everyone was the same and I was outcast and people would move away from me on the train because I was a white woman. I faced a lot of discrimination based on simply my race. So I got to actually live in that and understand what that's like. And so I have this real deep stand for diversity and the stand for honoring different cultures, to not get rid of the old cultures. It's like with this Western commercialization of the whole world, and you can get a McDonald's anywhere, or the Apple stores in San Jose here in Costa Rica. Brent's computer is having issues, and it's okay. That's great. That's convenient. But how do we preserve culture? And I believe that Circle plays a part in that, because Circle is a wheel of co-creative leadership. And so from that distinction, it's that every single voice matters. Every single person turns that wheel, makes that circle complete, makes it whole. And that we don't all have to be the whole wheel. We can just be our part. We be our part, we speak our truth, and we bring our perspective. So it's looking at this glass. If you look at the glass, you see it as clear. I'm looking at the same glass and I'm saying, oh, there's a green sticker on it. And you're saying, what green sticker? There's no green sticker. But yeah, there's a green sticker, right? This is the same glass. It's the same truth. But there's two different perspectives. There's two different points of view. Both are equally true and valid. So what is it that has us get so caught up in me being right about there's a green sticker and you saying, no, there isn't? What is that? Because that is what gets in the way of humanity coming together and creating a new culture. And it's happening now, and we're seeing the split. It's like the world, humanity is splitting in two. And some say this is like this 3D versus 5D, like those who are spiritually evolving are going into this 5D reality while the rest are staying in the 3D. Okay, maybe. I don't think it really matters, but we are seeing the split because people are so fixated and so convinced that their point of view is right. I don't think that works. Now, I'm open to hearing the other side. And I'm also open to trusting the process. And maybe this is part of the evolution of humanity. But how do we get out of our own way? And basically what it comes down to is a choice. I can choose to be right, or I can choose to love. And this has been a distinction in my relationship that I heard from a relationship coach, one of the many books I've been reading lately as I navigate my marriage. But how in our partnerships we get so, I'm right and you're wrong. Okay, that's one way of operating inside the relationship. How's that serving you? How's that serving your relationship? So I can be right, or I can choose love. I could be in the space of the open-hearted love. So it's like, all right, you're right and I'm right. Now let's figure out what our needs are. How can we honor each other's perspective, and how can we find a creative win-win solution? Because we are both right. So how do we do that? Through dialogue, through a conversation. If we are snubbing people, if we are canceling people, how are we ever going to find a solution that's harmonious, that works? So what? Half the world is going to go be in this reality and the other half's going to be in that reality? Okay, so that might be what happens. But I like to be around people who don't think like me all the time, who challenge me and my thoughts and my beliefs and keep me humble. And that's a big part of leadership, is humility. That I might be right now, but that could very well change. And it might be my truth now, but is that actually the truth? I'm open to that. And if we are truth seekers, then that is a universal truth that we really need to look at, is that there are multiple perspectives. That yes, it's like, how do we honor and acknowledge the duality of reality and the oneness of reality? This is the duality, right? The cup, the one side and the other side, the two different perspectives, the yin and the yang, the male and the female. And there's the oneness of, I am connected with all that is. And I have this universe, I have the masculine and feminine within me, and you have it within you. So we are mirrors. So I can see that playing out in my relationship, where we are one, and at the same time, there's duality of, okay, yeah, you don't look like me. You don't think like me all the time. You've got your perspective. And how do we come back into love and oneness where all is connected and all is on a scale of relativity, right? There's a spectrum. The spectrum is important. So here's the distinction here. It's called holding opposites. And this is a skill that I think we can learn as leaders, as facilitators, to help us internally be able to deal with inner conflict that will then help us to be skilled in holding neutrality with multiple points of view and with starting to help others to navigate and to come into conversation with one another. And just a side note, oh my God, this one woman said, I don't believe in what you're saying, so I'm unsubscribing. And it really actually always puts me in check when someone sends an email like this. And I said, and it actually then led me to an article where I saw the other perspective. And so I wrote back and I said, thank you for that email. You actually made a difference for me. And I'd love to hear more of your perspective. And she never wrote back. And I was like, oh, how sad. What a missed opportunity there. Okay, I'm not here to fix anyone. I'm not here to convince anyone. But I am here with an open heart to hear whatever you have to say. But it's just, we're so quick to cut off someone when we're feeling triggered. And we're not seeing the other person as a messenger for ourselves. And so that's a big piece, is the responsibility piece. But let's go into that in a minute. Let's go into this concept of holding opposites. Can I hold the sensation of lightness and heaviness in my body? Can I hold the emotion of rage and happy at the same time in my body? And that's a concept to really, what? And the first time I heard this term was from Karen Brody in her Daring to Rest book and her meditations. It's a Yoga Nidra meditation. And I don't know if this is a concept that she created or came from Yoga Nidra. So if you're a practitioner of Yoga Nidra, maybe this is a way in which we practice this form of meditation. But in the meditation, it was having you hold these opposites. And so it's like, all right, feel the heavy, feel your body. And so you could do this with me right now, just closing your eyes and feel your whole body get heavy. Feel it like sinking like a dead weight into the floor, like you can't move. You're going inside of yourself. You're becoming this super heavy rock, and just feel your whole body like melting. And now feel the sensation of lightness. You're as light as a feather. Feel yourself levitating, rising up. Feel your whole spirit. Everything's expanding, becoming a light body. Okay, now can you actually feel and experience these at the same time? Feeling heavy and light at the same time. Okay, and then opening your eyes. Now, that might look different for every single person who's watching this right now or listening to this. We all have our own journeys, right? We all have our own experience of how we see the world. It's like someone who's colorblind we're looking at the exact same thing and they're seeing one color, I'm seeing, and who says which one's right? So we all have our own experience. The more that we start to recognize our experience is different from others, the more that we can trust the process, and the more then we can let go of trying to convince someone, trying to fix someone, because that's really what this is about. It's this drama triangle, the Cartman drama triangle of the victim and the persecutor and the martyr. And so the martyr is always trying to save the victim and trying to convince and convert and to fix and to coach and all these things. Seeing themselves, because what it does is it has them feel better about themselves. So there's a compensation of, in order for me to compensate for this icky feeling I have of lack of self-worth, I'm going to project that onto you. And that is what is happening in this cancel culture. That is what's happening in the world where it's, I'm right. And I just did a post about spiritual superiority. I'm right. You're wrong. I need to convince you that I'm right to make myself feel worthy. So it's a significance and belonging. I need to feel significant, like my voice matters, and I need to feel a sense of belonging, that I belong on this earth. And if you're different than me, then I might not belong. So I need to prove that I'm right. And I need to have you come on my side so that I belong. You see that? This is a 2-year-old. We're acting like 2-year-olds in this cancel culture because we're triggered, and it's a safety trigger. I'm not feeling safe. I'm feeling like there might be something wrong with me, because ultimately that's what we believe. The deepest core wound is that there's something wrong with me. And so I've got to make sure that I puff myself up and that I make myself, and this is a big thing with the spiritual superiority that's happening of, well, I'm more spiritually evolved than you are. And so I know what's best. And it's like Harry Potter, right? Oh, you're not magical. You're just a muggle. But we act like this. And it's like, I can't associate with you. You're not on my vibe. Okay, is that really being spiritual? No. So holding opposites within ourselves. And then guess what? If I can feel the rage, really feel the rage. I can feel the rage at the patriarchy. I can feel the rage at all the women and children who have been raped and pillaged and how we're destroying the earth. And I can just feel that anger just boiling. I can feel myself boiling. I can feel that sensation in my body. Okay, and then I can switch to bliss and love and feeling that. And just my tenderness and my love for humanity. Okay, now can I hold both? Can I hold the rage towards humanity for all the stupid, fucked up things people are doing to this earth, to each other? Can I also hold that love at the same time? Look at how much my capacity has grown. Now I can hold anything. And I can hold anything that you throw at me. So this helps us to lessen the triggers that just build up inside of us that have us want to push someone away or leave, depending on what our pattern is. The 5 personality patterns are the ways, our strategies to keep ourselves safe. There's the leaving pattern. I'm here, right? Like something's dangerous over here. I'm getting triggered. I'm out. The merging pattern is a little bit of the martyr of, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to merge into you. I'm going to connect and I'm going to pull you in because I'm not feeling safe. So I need to actually get something from you. Enduring is I'm going to go down into my turtle shell and you're not going to be able to reach me down here. And I'm like a stubborn rock. I'm impenetrable. You can't budge me. You can't do anything. I'm just here. And then there's the aggressive pattern of I'm going to fight you. And then the rigid of I'm going to create the structure and I'm going to be in compliance with the rules so that I am safe within the confine of the box that is created that I know is like the safe space. So that is how, those are the 5 personality patterns of when we're feeling triggered. That's our strategy to protect ourselves. So when we learn how to hold opposites, and we can feel the extremes because it's all one spectrum. So if I can feel the rage and I can also feel the bliss of that unconditional love, and I can hold all of that, and I'm not getting triggered and I'm not getting sucked into, I can feel the pain in my body of that rage. I can express it. I can allow it to flow. At the same time, I can feel like this ecstatic, oh my God, I am one with the universe. I have dissolved into the nothingness of, and it's just the pleasure of that. I can hold both of these things. I can then hold space. And right now, what the world needs is a lot of space holders. We need more space holders. We need more of those neutral, safe, and sacred spaces. Hence why the world needs circle and why the world wants circle. Because where else can I feel it all? Where else can I let go of my pattern, let go of my strategy, and just be me? And that's how we heal. So this holding opposites is the way that I expand my capacity as a leader. And then I can navigate bring it on. I can have a conversation now and I can be present because that is the key. If I'm feeling something uncomfortable, that trigger, I want to get rid of it. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to be in the discomfort. I need to get it out. But if I'm able to hold opposites and I can feel all of it, I have a new presence. And so now it's like someone's saying something that triggers me. Okay, I felt that. Whew, where did I feel that? What's that bringing up for me? Rage. Oof. Oh, okay. I can feel this rage that this person, I'm like, I want to shake them. Like, really? You believe that? Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? But can I also hold the love and the compassion for that person at the same time? You're a freaking idiot. I can't believe you think that. Just makes me so enraged. And at the same time, I love you so much. Oh my God, I have so much compassion for you. And you're my mirror because I'm sometimes ignorant like that as well. And can I actually hold both? Okay, now I'm present with you and I'm feeling all of it. And so there's this thing in our spiritual world of I'm an empath. So I can't feel other people's things. Why not? I question that. I challenge that. Maybe you're letting it get to you in some way. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I do know that with the aggressive pattern is able to hold more charge, is able to hold more emotion than other patterns. And so the leaving pattern, for example, it can just fry the nervous system out, but we can practice. We could actually learn how to hold a little bit more energy, but learn how to discharge it. So if you're triggering me, can I hold and be with that and notice that it's in the holding that's keeping it there? But emotions, scientifically proven, that if you allow emotion to flow through you, it's going to be gone in less than 2 minutes. But if you're holding it and processing it and having it get stuck in your field, yeah, you're going to get burned out. Yes. So can you actually learn how to release and how to let emotions flow through you and be with them without attachment? Vipassana is where I learned that. Just taking a breath for a moment. Yeah. This is a big one. And this is what we are being challenged with in this wackadoo crazy year. This is the spiritual growth. holding opposites, presence, being with, creating neutrality through a safe and sacred space, allowing these crazy emotions to erupt. Let them erupt. Let's not put a lid on it. Let's not censor it. Let's hold the space for it. There's healing in holding that space, because that's what we need, is to heal the inner child who is just trying to find significance and belonging. So that's my takeaway, is if someone says to me, I'm canceling you, I'm unsubscribing because I don't believe what you believe, tell me more about that. Tell me more. And that's okay. That's your sovereign right, sister. If you want to unsubscribe, if you want to call me names, I've had a lot of that. That is your sovereign right. I send you in peace, but tell me more. And let's see if maybe something can be healed in that moment. I don't know. I'm open to it. That's where I get to practice, is just holding the presence instead of getting triggered by the opposition, by the attack. Not attacking back, but just holding my presence when I'm being attacked. And that is the path, right? Because what's our biggest fear of visibility as leaders? We're going to be attacked, persecuted, put on the stake, right? Burned. Okay, that's not going to happen. But I am just going to remain neutral with the backlash, with the attacks. That's where I get to practice. That's where really I believe being a brave woman is all about. So I asked myself that question. Okay, so what did I really learn about the brave woman? And Kimberly Gamble talking about the amount of backlash that she's gotten, the threats and hate mail and whatever else. It's like, all right, so yeah, that's it. That's what it means to be a brave woman. I have to stand true in my stand, be fully self-expressed, be open to the opposition, hold opposites, continue to expand and grow and learn, continue to open my heart. There was something I said that we were going to return to. I can't remember what it is, but I'm sure when I listen again, I will find it and maybe I'll do a blog post about it or something. But until the next season, I wish you well, and I hope that you will rejoin me for season 2. So thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. And let's stay in touch. Let's stay connected. Come join our Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram. Let's continue to stay in this dialogue together, in this community together. If you just listened to this show, I'd love for you to leave the Brave Woman podcast an honest review. Reviews help podcasts like this one grow, making it more possible for me to devote my time, energy, and money to its production. If you take a screenshot of your review and email it to support@sistershipcircle.com, we'll send you one of our archetype activations as a thank you gift. If you like this show and have been watching for a while, or even this is the first one, I have an ask of you. This feels vulnerable, but I know I need to model the brave woman every day in as many ways as I can. Here's my ask. This podcast costs a lot of time, money, and energy to produce it. And in order for it to be sustainable over the long term, I need financial sponsorship. A simple way for you to support is by buying me a cup of coffee. Cute, huh? If everyone who listened bought me a cup of coffee for $1, $3, $5, it would cover the cost of production. So you can do this at sistershipcircle.com/coffee. Thank you so much for your love and support. And that's a wrap. Up next, Season 2 will resume in the fall of 2021, and we'll be exploring how to unlock your feminine power as a brave leader through more interviews, feminine freedom method sessions, and deep dives into relevant topics that affect you as a woman in the modern world. I'll catch you next season.